Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I'm Charlotte Kahn presenting AI Project Demo as part of AI for Good Perspectives, all year, always online. AI for Good Perspectives offer expert insights, global visions, and shared solutions from the AI for Good community. And today I am delighted to be joined by Olivier Lee of the University of Bordeaux Computer Science Lab in France. Hello, Olivier.
Hi.
And thank you very much for joining us. So you are here, Olivier, to tell us about two different types of projects involving robots, gifted with artificial intelligence, of course. One is a football playing robot, and the other one is a robot that can be used for agriculture. So let's start with the first one, the football playing robot. It was developed to take part in a global competition called the RoboCup, wasn't it? So what can you tell us about it?
Yeah, exactly. Well, actually, it's quite bizarre to develop a robot for football, but it's a challenge, actually, a challenge of AI, linked to robotics, of course. It has been created about 20 years ago, when in 97, Harry Kasparov was defeated by Deep Blue, the computer of IBM. And at this point, some people from AI decided to explore a new way for artificial intelligence, where actually all the information, the way of the real life. In fact, that when you play chess, you have all information about the game. You know exactly where are all the pieces, you have some time to think. There is no hidden part, and it is a pure deduction exercise, actually. But when you are in the real life, you never have this situation, actually. You have to take decision according to only partial information, because you get your information about the environment by, for example, your eyes, and therefore, if you cannot see things across obstacle, for example, so you have only partial information, and of course, all the information of the localization of objects and the people are approximative, and so you have to deal with that. And the idea of RoboCup was to make machine think and elaborate strategy in this context. And so people decided to experiment sports. Sports are finally a good example of such a situation, but with some rules. So it's it's a bit more easier than the general real life. And so the first challenge invented for the RoboCup 20 years ago was the soccer. And we play soccer with humanoid robots, who have to move, who have to score, who have to play in team, and all in the real time, in parallel with the opponent. And we are in in a situation closer from life than, for example, chess. We can see the first video maybe about the RoboCup. It gives some idea of the competition. During these 20 years, the RoboCup became maybe the largest event of autonomous robotics. So robotics with AI. And soccer, here we can see a robot playing soccer. Right? These are all video, actually, but from this, a lot of new challenge have been proposed. Industrial challenge to optimize the production, but also rescue challenge, where robots have to rescue people in a disaster, in an artificial disaster site. And also the at-home challenge, where we have to develop computers who have to do tasks at home and also exchange, communicate with people in a very natural way. And there is also a big part of for children, reserved for children, as a kind of educational part for RoboCup. Well, yeah, the classical teams of RoboCup are researcher teams and also students, but PhD students or this kind of people. But for children, well, there are high school childs. And so on. So this is the RoboCup, and this is our context, and we play RoboCup for maybe 10 years ago, and we are very, very happy to welcome the event in Bordeaux in 2023 now.
Exciting. So tell us about the team you have developed to participate in this RoboCup.
Oh, yeah. So this is maybe the second video. So the team, we design, here we can see them, humanoid robots, small humanoid robots, and we put them on the side of the field, and they have to play, to decide where to go, to play in team. So we can see here the robot preparing themselves to engage the game. They take on their position. And so what is important is pure AI. I mean, they decide, they are not remotely controlled. Of course, we don't touch to anything during the game. They just decide what to do, and well, it's sometimes close to rugby actually. But we try to, yeah, yeah. Well, we are far from human, thanks God. Well, which.
Olivia, that's an interesting thing. I mean, I guess, you know, quite often we think that the main challenges, of course, are developing those great AI functions, but mobility, of course, is also one of your key challenges, I imagine.
Yeah, absolutely. What is really, really difficult eventually in this kind of challenge is the motion, intelligence in motion, which is maybe something very important in animals and in humans, actually. And we developed here we can see the sensor under the feet, or here what is going on in the robot when he walk. We have a complete model, and this intelligence is very important and very hard to understand actually. And the locomotion of robot is at first the biggest difficulty actually. The robots are not running like human. Well, maybe at some point, but not now. They have to shoot in the ball. They have, well, to balance all the time, and even under shoot of opponent. And this is one of the main difficulty. I mean, maybe the motor intelligence. That's why we do humanoid robot. But in the RoboCup, actually, there are several leagues of robot playing soccer, even leagues of wheeled robot, where the locomotion is more easy, more rapid, and but well, we try to reproduce the human morphology for us. Okay.
Olivier, let's move on to your other project in agriculture this time. What is the problem you were trying to solve with the solution you have developed?
Well, so still in mobile intelligence robots, we are on this application very close to application. It's so we try to develop, and maybe we can pass the third video. We try to develop a robot to give a solution against chemistry in wedding, actually. So we use this, we designed this robot with my colleagues, Hugo Gimbert and here, Steven Guyenne. We tried to develop this robot who, if you look at it, so his wheel is far lighter than a real tractor. And there is this small module who follow and try to recognize the plant. Here it's a corn, I think. And to weed in between the plant, just like we do a human being, but for large culture and for large production. I mean, at this moment, we face a real problem of, well, the conjunction of the need of organic food and the fact that, of course, it's not possible to use chemistry anymore. So the robotics bring a new solution for that. And well, this is the example of weeding, but we use, so if you look at the tool is light, the tool is very light, and so we don't need a very heavy tractor. And so we don't tame the soil, tame down the soil. And it's very important for us. The tractor is electric, so it's far lighter. And beside weeding, there are some other problematic, very important for, like sowing. The tractor have an accuracy under the centimeter. Well, yeah, under the centimeter, and maybe, well, not as good as a human, but very good still. And we can, and so the tractor is maybe able to enforce strip till technique, for example. I mean, to sow seed on very small lines, and so in such a solution, we don't need to plow the soil. The plowing is not needed like that, and well, very light plowing comparing to the classical way of culture. And so we save the underground life like that. And,
okay,
well, so this is our robot. You recognize plants like that, with, of course, AI forces. Yeah.
So it sounds like it's got plenty of benefits, because you've mentioned the fact that it's very light, so it doesn't damage the soil, the terrain too much. Also, it sounds to be a very portable kind of solution. Therefore, you could use it for difficult terrain, I guess, or land that is difficult to access.
Well, at this point, we use in the classical field of corn like that, or several, I mean, several other culture, but we have experimentation also in the forest, in the wood, so where the environment is more aggressive, more difficult. But well, I mean, the state of the art. It's not a product at the moment, but maybe soon.
And Olivier, what can you tell us about the financial benefits, if any, compared to traditional solutions?
The fact is that this machine is far lighter than an enormous tractor, and also for the cost, actually. The cost is not so expensive comparing to enormous tractor who tread several lines at the same time. So it's not a real question of money for such a solution, but we have to fix the technology. I mean, it takes time, years actually, and well, we're on the way to do that.
Okay, well, Olivier, thank you so much for the amazing demos. That was fascinating. Thank you.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you. Thanks, Charlotte.
And thank you everyone for watching, and stay tuned for more from the AI for Good perspectives, all year, always online.